Blood in with the mob. Let the young niggas at large. Why not see my young niggas in charge? Why you in G? That's a life way. Is that at a highway you play and you probably see stars? Well, I probably see bars. Shots to the top and ass shit for a start. Put that bitch on the lick with a brick of that oil. Watch it whipping that joy and to see that whole life on my dick and get hard. When these niggas get hard, betraying they gangster, but bitch, you know I knew that shit from the start. Stick on my hip with that dick in a rock. Step in my clip, make it easy to bow. Make the best of head like you ain't see what you saw. Sorry, I can't recall. On the block with that dope.
Yo, it's your boy, LOL Nick, and I got my brother,
DP501.
and we are the Paid Thoughts Podcast. DPZ.
What it do, my nigga?
Nigga, we back. We back. I just want to, I got a little public service announcement to all you niggas out there. Y'all ain't fucking with us, man. I'm going to say it again. Y'all not fucking with us. We got one of them ones in here, man. I know I say that often, but, man, this one right here is special, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, real deal. Legend in his own right. You know what I'm saying? Like, been putting it down for a minute. You know what I'm saying? Like he said, Sweet 16 like a motherfucker. And when I say it added up once I heard it, I was like, nigga, you right. Because, nigga, I'm 15 years removed from high school. And I heard you a year after high school is when my nigga came out hard, you know what I'm saying? But like I say, he a 101, you know what I'm saying? True. Like a real genuine nigga, like you know how them niggas like genuinely them. You know what I mean? Just one of them niggas like, man, okay, yeah, this him. This ain't no gimmicks, no even in the raps, you know what I'm saying? So like I say, man, it's definitely a pleasure and an honor to have him on our shit because he don't talk much. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, I'm like, nigga, we landed this nigga. I damn near took a shot in the dark hitting that, reaching out like, hey, you think we can? Hey. I was like, damn. So, you know what I'm saying? Real deal, you know, Himothy, you know what I'm saying? Hemi Butler, you know what I'm saying? Him Duncan, him Crow, hold on. Maybe not him Crow, but like I say, man, one of the ones. DP, who we got in this motherfucker, man?
We got Don Trip in the building.
Indeed. Come on, man. 2-clip Trip now.
Indeed.
God damn, Don, how you doing, brother?
Man, so far so good. I can't complain, man.
Down here for the Juneteenth.
Yeah, indeed, man. The good people, I don't know the name of the organization that brought me down there, but you know, they showed me love. They was,
that's Ebony Kimbrough. Now, shout out to Ebony.
Yeah, indeed, man. You know, I appreciate them for even having me. So.
No, definitely, man. Hey, man, listen, man. You know, it's kind of like you don't know where to start with you because you not, like I say, you not like the average rapper. Like you not out on blogs and you ain't got drama going and motherfuckers ain't really. It's really based off your art. Like, nigga, your music.
I would have it no other way.
No, definitely.
I think all that. I don't know. I think when you get caught up in being something else, or like you know the show pony kind of shit, you don't get to live a real life. Like you know, I get to move around, and I'm becoming more popular and more noticeable now. But even when people do recognize me, you know, it's never disrespectful. It's never intrusive. And I think the reason I can enjoy that is because. You know, like you said a second ago, what you see is what you get. You know, I ain't one thing here, and then when you see me, you know, this other thing. And you know, I think people recognize that. So when they see me, especially when they see me, you know, if I'm with my kids, you know, it might be a person like I was in like Target maybe a few weeks ago, and the white guy walked up to me and he was like, "Man, I just got hip to you from." You know, he heard Say Less. Say Less is a fairly new record. I want to say maybe last year.
Yeah.
But, you know, he was like, I got hip to you from Say Less, and I went through your whole catalog. And he was like, man, you know, your music just touched me. And when he looked at scene, I was with my kids, like, man, I don't want to hold you up. I don't want no pictures or nothing. I just want to tell you I rock with you. And, you know, that meant everything. But that's what I'm saying. I think that it's that way because I'm the same person rather than
so
Mike is on.
In your music though.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Nah, you really when it comes to your music, like you give off being just a regular real nigga. Yeah. You make real life nigga feel good in being them. You know what I'm saying? Like even when you mention your wife.
Yeah.
mention your relationship and your kids.
Man, you know, it's like rap taboo or something.
Straight up, look, man, when I hear it.
Rap niggas don't say they got a girlfriend. Unless they
married
say
their
girlfriend
whole
got
career.
one.
No, straight up.
Right.
Niggas married their whole
niggas
career.
be
You never know a
married
nigga had a
with
wife.
kids, it be their anniversary. None of their records ever say nothing about having a wife. So, you know, when I got married, that's one of the things that stuck out to me. I'm like, man, you know, I ain't ever sat and said, damn, what do I rap about now? I just go in and whatever happens, happens. So whatever record that was, and I mentioned my wife, after Star heard it, Star was like, man, you know, nobody talk about having a wife. I was like, damn, you're right. And he's like, do that make you second think? I'm like, no, I don't give no fucks. You know?
Nah, you nigga had a beautiful wedding. I'm talking about shit. Hey, for
I
real,
appreciate
nigga,
that.
nah,
It
for
did.
real, bro. The pictures
It
was
did.
sweet, bro. You had a nice
Yeah.
wedding, man.
Hey,
for
man,
real.
you know.
That's hard.
But even that, you know, that's something that was near and dear, that meant something to me. And I ain't in no shape, form, or fashion am I, not to say that the rap niggas just married or ashamed of it. I don't know what it is. But for me, you know, I ain't in that. I think she deserved that recognition no matter what.
Right.
So, you know, I ain't got no shame in saying, you know.
Since we talking about being married, and it's in the news, we're gonna ask about it. Since the Bun B situation, he took the stand on for his wife. Everybody on the internet say, "Oh, Bun snitching," and all this is so.
Man, listen, I think
you stand for your wife.
Man, first of all, we wouldn't have been in there like been able to point no suspect. That would have been. We'd have been on the stand, you know, or been on trial for, you know, whether it was self-defense or not. He whacked. We ain't, that's a whole nother thing. But as far as his situation, I think he did what he was supposed to do. You a grown ass man,
right? And
on top of that, it ain't like Buns. What's my boy on trial right now? Right, it ain't like Bun at Young Thug trial testifying against Young Thug.
Right, straight up.
Man, it's
he's standing for his wife. Right. That's the whole thing I was telling people.
His livelihood. That's his fucking livelihood. That's his wife, his family. That's what you're supposed to do.
Right. So you supposed to say,
what's
baby,
the
I can't
alternative?
take the stand for you because it's the code.
Right. What's the alternative? I'm gonna send my wife to jail, or I don't really know all of the circumstances. Right. But I'm gonna go against my family for the internet. In real life, we can turn the internet off. You close them devices and shit. That shit don't exist.
No doubt.
No,
so I don't think you did shit wrong. I don't think I would have done different.
Say it wouldn't have been we wouldn't have been on trial.
No, because he shot the 40 years. No. Hey, I swear to God, I would have finished them all. Fuck it.
No, see, Bun might not be one of them kind of guys that go, that trains in that, them kind of scenarios. Yeah. Bun might not be at a gun range every week or no shit.
You at the range all the time, I see him.
Man, listen. Homie ain't getting nobody. He gonna be with Tupac. Fuck you talking about? He gonna meet Piff way before I get to meet him.
Hey, my man say he get motivated. He get a new idea every time he see John Wick or Call of Duty or some shit.
Man, the ATF just approved me for silencers. Man. Listen.
Hey, you got a gun YouTube channel and shit?
No, that shit a little tricky because I got Don Trip shit going on, and YouTube get real finicky when it comes to like gun shit.
Yeah.
So when I started uploading shit, I ain't even make the shit live yet. They was already threatening to take Don Trip shit down.
Rap shit.
I'm like, I ain't gonna risk it.
So what's the difference between like you seeing all the other motherfuckers with their guns at the range and doing all the other shit?
I have no idea, but they get it's they shit, so they get to say who can and can't come in. So I ain't really. I love the firearm community, but not enough to dispel what I do for a living. Right. So I just do it at my leisure now.
No, definitely, man. Let me ask you, man, this spurt, man, because I'm calling it a spurt, because like I say, I've been on you since you came out, because I'm originally from Forest City. So,
indeed.
Man.
Shout out to all them niggas in Forest in the part where you can't get out of.
Listen, bro. You came to Forest City in 2013.
Yeah.
Man, and I just started driving trucks. So I'm talking about, I'm fresh off the road. My nigga say, Don Trip gonna be a Cold Rose. I said, I bet.
Yeah.
So, nigga, I get off the road. I got a fat ass little check, the biggest I ever seen.
Yeah.
So, my nigga just bought a Camaro drop top. So, shit, it's cold as fuck outside. But we got that motherfucking top drop with the heat blowing. So shout out to my boy Japan. So we up there, and nigga, when I say, bro, I got so fucked up. Cause my people, like I said, this when I was a young nigga, so I'm just doing stupid shit. Them niggas would take like a shot of syrup before they start drinking liquor to mellow them out. So I did that shit. Listen, I'm talking about as soon as you came on, I don't know what was the first song you performed, but the next song was Like Me.
Yeah.
And that was the song I'm waiting on.
Yeah.
Cause that's the song niggas turn up. Yeah. I swear to God, nigga, I'm in the middle of the flow. I'm right the stage. I'm in the middle of the flow and I'm stuck. The inside of me is like, but I'm still here just looking at the nigga. I'm stuck, bro. When that shit, I knew I said I gotta go sit down. I'm in the back like this the whole night. Hold up for the rest of the show, and I ain't even finished the show. I had to go outside. I was through. Man. I missed that whole shit. Damn. But I got to see the performance though. I like me. Yeah. But the spurt, bro, like you've been going crazy. I'm talking about it's almost too much to keep up with.
17 projects.
Yeah.
Like
the last 17 months.
Come on, bro. Like what's the cause? Like did you catch what's the motivation behind it? Because you know what I'm saying? I got a follow-up question, but you've been going crazy.
Man, I sat down, shout out, rest in peace, Casino Jizzle. Mm-hmm. I was in the studio, I was doing a record with Casino Jizzle. It was for his shit. He was like, man, when you gonna put out something else? And I'm like, man, I don't know. You know, I just do that shit when I do it. He was like, man, it's been like 2 years, I think he said. And when he said that, I said, it couldn't have been that long. He was like, bruh, it's been about 2 years since you put a tape out. So when I looked, I want to say this was right after, right before I put out, I want to say the Christopher album. My timeline be fucked up. But either way, when he told me that, I sat and I had no explanation for why I had no music in that time period. So I said, fuck it, you know, I'm just gonna drop. And at first I sat and, you know, tried to like plan it all out and shit. But, you know, I'm sure all you niggas look old enough to know that when you sit, the longer you plan that shit out, the longer it take to actually do that shit. And before you know it, you got, you know, this long fucking plan and no execute, it never happens. So I just said, fuck it. I'm gonna go in and, you know, I'm gonna start fresh. And I scrapped every record from, what was that, January 2023? So everything you heard on that tape on Gotham City, all of those records were recorded in January. Ever since January, you haven't heard a record that was recorded the month before.
No old music.
No, I ain't got no. I have like right now. I got nothing.
Oh.
The last tape I did, that was everything I recorded in May. Everything I recorded in January came out the last Friday of January. Same for February, same for March. So every tape you've heard from me, these are all new records. These records, you know, I ain't got nothing in no vault. I don't got no fucking, I ain't walking around with a hard drive pulling up songs and shit.
Coming up with shit.
Man,
none of this shit sound the same. None of it like.
And the
I
fucking,
have no idea.
like you going so crazy. Like the punchlines is some shit that I'm like niggas really sleeping on you for storytelling and punchline, cause you've been like telling stories like a motherfucker. Niggas don't understand.
See, even with that, like I don't know, I all the way up until January 23, I had like a rule book I was following, and you know I kind of gathered it from all of the artists I listened to and looked up to, you know, as I became an artist, and then I just started seeing more and more shit, and I don't like to do the name game, but I started seeing more and more artists do shit that was against the rules. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And then, you know, I look and I ain't no real fucking rule book. I'm the one with this rule book. I thought they all abided by this rule book.
But everybody don't play by the code.
Exactly.
Well, no when
like streaming kicked in, niggas went to doing different shit. It wasn't the integrity that they kept from back then.
Right.
But that's also because we couldn't see what they was doing. Like, you know, the internet now, everything's right now.
Yeah.
So you heard the Black album, you didn't see it being recorded. Even if, you know, he had the documentary, Fade to Black, but you didn't see the true process of the tape.
Right.
You didn't see it happening.
Right.
So you don't know if it took that nigga 4 takes on whatever particular song. You wouldn't know. So the internet started exposing shit. You start seeing more niggas got writers involved when they. I got nothing against it. It is what it is. But I'm saying, now, if you look at now, when you look at 5 years ago. 5 years ago, if it came out, so and so had a nigga writing with him or writing for him, you'd be like, oh, no.
Man,
right, I'm through with him.
Right.
Now, that shit, you expect that. Now, it's in the
everybody got a writer.
It's in the credits.
Right. It's in the credits. You see, so and so, But at the same time, you gotta understand that if we was writing a record right now, well, if I'm writing a record right now, and he come out and he like, and I use that cadence, I owe him a writer's credit. He didn't say a goddamn thing. But if I use the cadence, the idea he just had, he gets writer's credit. Now, as a musician, that don't bother me in no shape, form, or fashion. But as a fan who don't really know what this game is, when they look at that, oh shit, he wrote the song. He didn't write the
Right.
But at the same time, there's no way to know that unless you was in it or you can actually read the credentials, not just the credits. So niggas don't know none of that.
So what about the like the other, like the Quentin, what's the other nigga that was writing, like for Drake had the other tracks?
The reference tracks.
The reference tracks and shit.
That shit worked the same way. That's what I'm saying. We know that he wrote the song because he heard the reference track.
Right.
So I that is evident in itself. But all of the records you would look at right now and see another person's name in writer's credits, that don't mean that they wrote the song. There may not be a reference track for what they did. Right. They could have just hummed some shit. Michael Jackson got writer's credit for We Are the World. And all he said was, but that's how this game goes. That's how it works. Right. But at the same token, I mean, look at that if the shoe was on the other foot. If you sat in here and you been in here humming for fucking 2 hours and I come in and heard something he was humming and I built the song around it, of course he want his credit for it.
Give me some of that.
Yeah. Right. I mean, shit, it's only right.
Right.
But either way, now you see everything. You ain't see everything at first. So now now that we privileged to see everything, I realized everybody ain't following this rule book that I thought we all was following.
Right.
So when I peeped that, I said, fuck it, I'm gonna throw the rule book out then. I'm just gonna do what the fuck I wanna do. And that's what I've been doing. I don't give a shit how nobody feel. I don't care it's fucking, it might be like 200 records now. If you don't like 4 of the records, why? I don't give a fuck. With 200 records, if you didn't find something you like, that just means you don't relate to me. And that's perfectly fine. Right. I've never heard a Garth Brooks song in my life. And that nigga, he do more numbers than anybody we can name. Come on. So clearly, he's still a lane. He
it's somebody looking, somebody for somebody. Straight
exactly. So,
straight up.
If so-and-so ain't rocking with whatever I said or, whatever record, so be it. I'm fine with that.
But it had to be a spark because I see you more active on social media. Like, nigga, I seen you, like, nigga, when I say I'm peeping the comments, somebody posted you, I probably would say Dirty Glove, but they posted you, and one nigga commented about your age, and he was all like, man, nigga, this nigga 50, whoop de whoop, and you said, hey, nigga, hey, man, I'ma charge this to your ignorance, goddamn me, whoop de whoop. But I see you coming, I'm like, I said, Trip ain't never did this, whole, you know what I'm saying?
It was one of them unwritten rules. You a celebrity. You're not supposed to speak back to people. Your age. You ain't supposed to be on the internet. Right. Whole fucking world's on the internet. Why not?
Right. No, straight up.
And when it comes to like the surge in my internet presence, I gotta give some of the credit to my guy Charlie. Man, I sat with Charlie. Man, I don't know what the fuck you would really even call Charlie. Be like a content curator or some shit. Either way, one of the main reasons I never really interact with the internet because it make me uncomfortable. It'd be complete strangers, like whoever, I know what's coming, you said, it was a complete stranger. You're gonna tell me I'm 50. You think that bothers me.
Right.
I know people that didn't make it past 16, 17, all shit. My brother died, he was 37, I think. Either way, that ain't gonna bother me in the least bit. You tell me I'm old. Last time I checked, we all grow old. You don't grow young.
Straight up.
So nigga, when I see the nigga, he getting old, nigga, ain't you? I thought that's how this works. Right. But either way, man, I sat down and man, I threw away one of my rules was that I don't deal with no new people. Period. Now, my personal space is a separate thing. I've learned how to separate the two. So I had to learn how to let people that wasn't. I used to look at it like, if I gotta pay for this, why not pay my brother for it?
Right.
So I got so far up that it became more roles, and these roles need to be managed by people who know what they're doing. And in most cases, my family can't help me in that. You've been doing whatever you've been doing your whole life, or your whole adulthood. But this guy's been doing fucking social media shit.
What the fuck I need him to do?
Right, he know what's going on. Right. Yeah, I'll just pay him. I don't know him.
But he know his shit.
So with all of that shit, now I know Charlie. Right. But Charlie's one of them people, like, we sat down and I don't know how we grew comfortable with each other. I think it was, of course it was a learning curve. He had to learn me, I had to learn him. And he do a really good job at not invading my privacy. And with certain, like, Charlie understand, like I said, before we went live, if it's something I don't like, I'm gonna voice it. I'm gonna tell I ain't gonna be disrespectful. I don't believe in that.
Yeah.
So, of course we had trial and error. Certain things he wanted to do, I just wasn't rocking with. And then there was certain things he wanted to do that I just wasn't accustomed to. Right. Like one of the first things was what'd you say, YouTube Shorts? I think this was. And he was like, let's do it. I'm like, man, look, I don't like filming. Cause you got to keep doing the same thing over and over again, so you can get it with this angle and that angle and this angle. I hate that shit. But we compromised. We met in the middle. He started pumping them shits. And then my people at Connect, my distributor, they started hitting me like, the numbers is this and this and this. I don't pay attention to numbers.
I watched them. You got.
Man, listen, I don't pay attention to none of the numbers. I couldn't tell you a number on none of that shit.
Yeah.
I don't like to get engulfed in that, because once you do that, I feel like what happens then.
Start chasing it.
Right. Then my next record gonna be like this record, because this record did however much it did. I just want to create. I don't want to do all that kind of. I don't want to get caught in it. I want my creativity to remain creativity. I wanted to come from wherever it comes from.
Man.
But they started hitting me with the numbers. That shit didn't resonate until my kids started telling me other kids was listening. Shit, yeah. Then that said something, because I don't make music for kids. Right. So if the kids are tuned in, that means, it was an ingredient in there that I didn't know was in there, and it works how it works. So I sat with Charlie and I'm like, well, you was right. So, they gave him the room he needed to offer up other ideas, even though, I still don't cooperate with everything. But, he's proved himself. So now, if anything, I give it some thought, or we might try it out. And I ain't never been afraid. Like, we can, we might shoot a video and I don't like none of this shit. So I ain't in the, we ain't gonna scrap the whole video. We're gonna cut it up and use pieces to do other things. It's just not a video no more. Right. It turns into something else. But I learned how how to make all that work. And from all that, shit just went hand in hand.
Even this, like, nigga, even this. I don't know how your man talked you into doing this, but only interview I did not really seen you do is Dirty Glove. Dirty Gloves up on the porch. Yeah. And Sway, but that was when you was promoting the motherfucking
man, listen, it's
Step Brothers.
I don't like interviews. I don't like when people try to corner you into shit that ain't got shit to do with you.
Right.
So, like a second ago, I told you I only rock with the people that I rock with. Sway fucked with me before Interscope ever signed me. Sway was rocking with me. Dirty Glove was rocking with me. DJ Smalls was rocking with me. It's a few other.
You did. You do. Boy, hey, man, you gotta chill. Like, your energy, bro, is so like, don't move me. Like, motherfucker come with a question, you just like.
Man, well, I don't know. I don't know how to. I got no explanation for that. But Julia Beverly, she used to do Ozone. I don't know if y'all familiar with Ozone. It used to be an award show in a magazine.
They young, them niggas don't know nothing about
that. I
remember
Ozone. Those are the people that they was rocking with me before the internet knew I existed.
Right.
So when they hit me, it just is what it is. I always fuck with them. And for this, that's my brother. Like I said, if I gotta pay somebody to do it anyway.
No,
He one of the people whose judgment I trust. You can ask. I don't have many questions. If he say, hey, we doing so and so, all right, let's do it.
I can dig that. Look
But
at
that's
all that,
but that's my biological brother. I've known him since I was 11, and I turned 39 this year. So that says enough for I trust his judgment.
Damn, that's crazy. DP older than you.
Fuck you.
See, DP the type of nigga, he be want to bring up old shit. Yeah, you don't know nothing about Soul Train. Nigga, fuck Soul Train. Nigga, we got 106 in Park, nigga.
Oh, no, that shit old too now. Listen, mention some
Don Cornelius.
Say some 106 in Park to my kids. They tell you was born in the 1900s. They make you feel old real fast, man.
Oh, man. But shit, bro.
How do you stay out of the beef and shit? Like,
it ain't got nothing to do with me.
You know what I'm saying? But
It's
I see you
easy.
work with everybody.
Let me question you like this. In a generation of pick a side, you know what I'm saying? Because these young niggas, they
exempt. I'm a grown man. If you disrespect me, I'ma check it. If you disrespect me, I'ma check it. If y'all disrespect each other, that's between y'all. That ain't got nothing to do with me. If my brother got a problem with so-and-so, now we got a problem.
Right.
But them niggas ain't my brother. Listen, I know, I firsthand, I knew Gotti same way. I know Gotti the same way I knew Dolph. Neither one of them assumed that I had anything to do with what they had going on.
Right.
They know that because whenever y'all had y'all falling out, I wasn't in the middle of it.
Right.
I don't know, my side is already designated for my family. All the other shit be other shit. And I don't jump in no kind of way. Yeah. Like I got records with people that's beefing with each other. And when I find out they beefing with each other, the way I play it, listen, I want you on this record. Keep him out of this.
Straight up.
If you got any respect for me, you gonna do your shit and leave. We make this rap music, so it's confrontational music anyway. I ain't telling you to make your fucking verse a fucking saint. I ain't saying that. I'm saying don't say this nigga name. Don't say nothing about what y'all got. This ain't got nothing to do with him.
Exactly.
If a nigga on some shoe fit wearing shit, then so be it. That is what it is. But we ain't for to turn this into no diss record for so-and-so. That's between y'all. Y'all let y'all shit be where it's at. And then I'm going to do the exact same thing if I do the record with so-and-so. I ain't into that. They ain't got nothing to do with me. Because at the end of the day, whoever's on this record make money off of it. I don't care nothing about all y'all other shit. That's y'all shit. I don't even ask niggas what they got going. Hey, you and so-and-so, I ain't no peacekeeper. No shape, form, or fashion. Y'all shit ain't got nothing to do with me. Ain't got nothing to do with me.
And that's how we operate. So, you know what I'm saying? For example, like we done had niggas on the podcast who rap about killing each other. But when we interviewed that nigga, we did not ask him about that nigga.
Exactly.
And we, like I say, you know what I'm saying? We trying to bring, I ain't gonna say we trying to bring back, but we keep, you know what I'm saying, integrity blogging. We ain't really with the mess.
Because once you do that,
bitch ass shit, bro.
Yeah,
because once you step in it, ain't you don't get to get back out of it.
Right.
It's that now. The second you do it, the second you got the second you pick the side or you instigated the shit, that's what you are now. They say. It's probably council culture. It is what it is. They say you can build 1 million bridges and suck one dick. You are not a bridge builder. You're a cocksucker. So,
hey, but that's you and Pat. I ain't never heard a nigga say fuck Project Pat on the song. I ain't never heard a nigga say fuck Don
9
Trip.
feet tall.
Straight up. Hey.
Last thing you want to do is say fuck Project Pat on the song, and then you gotta remember that you are likely to run into Pat in places where celebrities aren't.
Right.
You fuck around running into Pat in Kroger.
Straight up.
And you diss Pat. And you like, oh, bro, we just was rapping.
Listen,
man,
you and Pat came to Ford City the same way. No bullshit. You ain't come with no entourage. You came with about 2-3 niggas. Pat came with about one more nigga.
Man, listen.
Pat walked through the club with the mic. Nigga, Pat shaking niggas' hands. I was like,
listen, in real life, if if you're going into an environment and you outnumbered, no matter what you're gonna be, I can bring 50 niggas, I'm still gonna be outnumbered wherever we're going. We're going to a club or arena or bowling, wherever we're going, it's gonna be more people there than I could possibly bring.
Right.
If I got 50 people with me and shit hit the fan and it gotta get violent, imagine the chances that we gonna fuck around and shoot each other. It's too many of us. But if it's 4 of us, you know who.
Right.
This is easy. This is easy work.
We know who with us.
Right.
I mean, we know what
These folk. Everything else is bait. It is what it is. But but that's some shit you had to learn as time go on. Cause when you first get in it, all your friends want to be a part of what you're doing. And then what happens is the time when everything's great and all of the fame is coming from it, everybody want to be a part of it.
Right.
And then when it's time to build, now it's pause on the spotlight, let's grind and get it together. Then you start seeing what niggas really act with it. Then you in the studio and you realize niggas is just in here to smoke.
Right.
You just in here to meet up with bitches. And I'm in here to turn this shit on. I can do all the other. I don't smoke or drink, but I can do all of my leisure in another place.
Right.
The studio is my office.
Right.
I came here to work. I ain't clocking in to ride the clock. Ain't no clock for me to ride. It's mine.
Yeah.
How often you record?
Man, I ain't recorded since
every day. The way this nigga
don't.
been dropping, goddamn.
Listen, man, it may seem that way, but the last tape came out on a Friday. I don't remember the day. But it came out, I don't remember the number date, but it came out on a Friday. I turned it in Wednesday. I started recording Sunday night. I started recording Sunday night. I finished recording Monday. At some point during Monday, mixed masters, turned it in Wednesday. So I ain't had no records before Sunday.
Yeah.
And I ain't recorded since Monday. So now where we at? This is the June tape. We got maybe 2 weeks left in June, maybe. Sound about right. What's the day like?
2 and a half weeks.
15.
Right. All right. So that means I got maybe 5 days to turn the project in. If it might be a little more than that. I might record when I make it home. I might record the next day. I might not record at all. It might not be a June tape. I don't give 2 fucks, man. I'm just doing what I feel like. What they gonna do? They gonna do what? All my fans gonna say, "Oh, we through with him. He stopped at 17 tapes."
but you see like the uproar of flowers everybody trying to get.
Yeah, I definitely appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Your pictures go viral. I think people know now. Like people say, "Let me post this because it's gonna go viral," because you dropping so much.
I knew something was working when before 23, I ain't received many derogatory comments. And now, man, it's it still ain't as many as they would like for it to be, but it's more than it used to be. When I started seeing that, and I started seeing people come at me from every fucking where about the dumbest shit, I said, okay,
The internet.
I'm doing something right now. Like I put a snippet video. I don't remember. I think it was Say Less. And I was saying, I can't live broke, I can't die broke. If I die broke, I can't rest in peace. People was commenting, man, money's not everything. And you turn your back on God and all this extra shit. And I'm like, all that shit sounds good, but in real time, you go in that box, you don't get a box if you ain't have no money to get in that motherfucker.
Goddamn
the city gonna burn your ass and put you in the little to-go box. So if I died broke, clearly, I can't rest in peace. And on top of that, man, how could I stand right here and tell you that I handle my business? I'm a grown man. Respect me, treat me like a man, and then I die and my folks got to hold a fucking fish fry to put me in the ground.
Nah, that's some bullshit.
Right, so I got to do what I got to do. I got to stand on it. So, yes, money is a necessity. I got 8 children. That shit is not cheap. If I buy one thing at a Target, I got to buy 8 of them. Any person commenting on my shit talking about money ain't everything. That shit sound great, but I can't feed my kids being broke. I can't pay my phone bill if I'm broke.
Thing without it.
Can't do shit with it. Right.
For real.
You can't
do a goddamn thing without it.
And me and 8 kids don't fit on no bridge. So.
Come on now, and you mentioned you referenced something my homeboy Spade TV said. I know you probably just scrolled social media and you seen it, but he made the post about how Don Tripp never smiled. And you referenced that in the song, and when I heard it, I sent it to him. I said, "Nigga, hey, you hear this nigga? You better stop playing with Tripp."
See, it's not a diss, but
I know. I'm just, you know what I'm saying. But he
Man,
was happy as hell that he was like, "Damn, he saw my post." Cause
that's what I figured. Once look, I take everything personal, so I had to take I gotta take a second. To, I don't know this person, so he can't know me.
Yeah.
So whatever he said, it was either for entertainment or no matter what, he couldn't have meant it personally. Don't know me personally. Yeah. But even for that, like, I said something because I've heard it before, but it's just weird to me. I know I come from a different world, but where I come from, nobody take that nigga serious. Is always smiling. The niggas always laughing. Something's always funny. They're entertained by that nigga. They don't take him serious. Listen, shit can be smooth if it turn in a heartbeat. If it turn in a heartbeat, my side is predetermined. It's selected already. So when shit hit the fan, I'm riding for who I'm riding with. Right. So I need, I feel like that's one of the most important attributes for a man. You ain't supposed to. They say if you see a wolf's teeth, it's too late. Mm-hmm. So I ain't, I'm not in the. I ain't just running around smiling just for the hell of it. Yeah. I ain't smiling on command or or just because other people want it. Like I didn't sit here and like try to keep a fucking stay a face as possible. No. If I was entertained, I laughed. It is what it is. No. But I don't take like requests to laugh or smile and shit. I'm like, picture Tupac right here. This nigga's not smiling or he ain't cheesing in no shape, form, or fashion. No. But when I heard that, I was like, I'm so sick of people asking me to smile. It's ridiculous. Like, women, like how a woman feel. Damn, baby, you too pretty. You to be frowning. Fuck does that even mean? No, you don't notice you just checked her account balance and that motherfucker said $-60. Oh, you too broke to be smiling. That's what you are. You frown. You deserve it. But either way. God damn. I pay attention to just about everything. I try not to take everything personal, even though I take it personal. I try not to hold on to it, especially when I don't really know the person. But one of the things with me, like I never really heard of y'all shit, right? Mm-hmm. But if you had ever said anything negative, I would have never forgot. Right. So you would have reached out to him. He would have said, "I can't." Paid thoughts, and I said, "No, we ain't fucking with him." He wouldn't even reach out. He would have already knew. Right. That's just how I am. I take it personal. I try not to, but at the end of the day, like certain shit. Like I did a feature a couple of years, a lot of years ago, really. Now that I think about it, I did a feature and. It was a guy, he was an aspiring artist. Nothing happened after that, but that's got nothing to do with me. Mm-hmm. Either way, I try to give him some game, and I'm like, man, listen, this is, the internet shit was, starting to expand. This, it started with if you in the video post, rappers don't post your shit. They in your song, they're on your song and all that shit, but you fuck that. Share that shit. Right, so I'm telling him, like, look, when you share, when you post the shit, let me know, we'll share it, we do our part. Right. Mm-hmm. I don't know how long, I don't know how much time was in between, but somebody hit me and they was like, man, they on the internet making jokes. I'm like, what you mean? So, I check it, and this artist, some pretend blog site made I can't remember what the fuck they said. They made a joke about me, and he reposted the joke, and, he like added into the joke. And he was like, I don't know, but I killed this song, some shit. And I'm like, man, I hit him. We tracked him down. Mm-hmm. I'm like, man, I'ma first hip you to why what's about to happen is happening. And then, it'll happen. So I'm like, bruh, I did you a favor. I'm doing you a favor by supporting your shit. Right. You called the alligator Big Mouth before you crossed the river. So you did all that. You made fun of me. You think I'm about to support your shit while you making fun of me. That didn't make any sense. Song. Right, you just wasted your money. You fucked your own money up. Now you burnt the bridge. Now, you know, it may not mean anything to you now, but the bridge you burn don't mean shit immediately. It don't
Later
mean
on,
shit
damn
until
sure
right
is.
later
Right.
on when now, fuck, what I need is on the other side of that bitch. And, you know, there's no way over there. And I'm like, man, you know, I ain't the kind of nigga that go like, hey, man, don't fuck with so-and-so, so-and-so. But when it come back around and you need me again,
Fuck
you shit out of luck. I don't know what the fuck you was thinking.
Nah, for
It could have been 30 years ago. I don't give no fucks. If you was ever on the other side of the line for me, you forever on the other side of the line. You can change jerseys as many times as you want. It ain't gonna match the ones we wearing.
Right.
Man, you know,
Damn,
that just is what it is. But
cold-blooded.
they go for
I
everything.
love it.
It ain't
I
just,
love
you know,
it. Hey, that's why I tell
that's
this
just-
nigga
that's
is
just
genuine,
everything.
man.
How you feel about your career now? You feel like you reached your plateau right now, or you feel like you
I
still
don't got one. I
you know
ain't.
what I'm saying?
I don't think about none of this shit.
Yeah.
Man, they said that it's like they've had like an age limit on, you know, when you supposed to just stop being a rapper. Jay-Z put a tape out right now. Niggas on the internet gonna go crazy. He gonna name 6 pains none of us know nothing about, and they still gonna buy this shit. Jay-Z's fucking. I don't know how old Jay-Z is, but he's older than me.
Right.
If he can still keep going, so can I. Too Short is probably the only person I've ever seen. Nope, I can't say he retired because he still performed. But either way, all that shit sound great. Rap music is the only genre where that exists. If the Rolling Stones go on tour, put a tape out, rock and roll fans eat that shit up, they love it.
Straight up.
If an old rap nigga do it, then you washed up and you fell off. It makes no sense at all. So in this game, they don't appreciate the pioneers. They don't appreciate the icons. So I'm not looking forward to being appreciated. I don't give 2 fucks. But what I can bet my money on is somebody's gone through or going through or about to go through something I've been through.
Right.
So shit, as long as I can do this shit, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah,
The only way this is gonna stop is if it stop, you know, if it stop financially, you know, covering it. The second I can't survive off of this shit, then that's a total different thing. And that's not because I don't love what I do, because I do love what I do. I don't love the music industry. That's a whole nother thing. But in shit in real life, man, this is the reason I get to do this is because it financially it covers everything.
Right.
If it didn't, I would have to do what financially covers everything. And shit, I'm 40, man. I can't go work a fucking 9 to 5 and then get off and go rap and shit. My wife would be bitching.
Let me ask you. So in your rule book was vulnerability in there? Because these new set of tapes, I hear a lot of more personal stories, you know what I'm saying? Where it's the, you know, mama's revenge, you know what I'm saying?
Well, you got
ignorance is bliss, you know what I'm saying?
But you got to consider, I was already releasing music.
Letter to my son was my
brought
first
me
time.
in
That
there.
was my first
So
time getting on YouTube.
what happened is earlier in my career I had less control, and then, you know, as I grew independently, I gained more control. So a lot of the shit I learned, you know, me being signed in 2010, I think. When I got signed, I put aside everything I thought I knew so I could learn what's going on. And as I learned, I kind of put myself in the box, if that makes sense. Because, you know, I would go in and I had 70 records for Cool and Dre. They didn't release a single one. But they problem with the records was they was too personal, if that makes sense. So they need to be club songs or pop, you know, they need to be more, more, I don't know what the fuck you would call it.
Right.
But, you know, they needed more of that. They needed me to be something that I wasn't. Because in real time, I couldn't see my son. It wasn't just a song. I literally couldn't see my son. They was offering all kinds of crazy shit that would only help me. I don't need to help me. I need to help my situation.
Right.
I'm trying to see, I don't want to go longer without seeing my son. I'm trying to, you know, fix what I got going on. So the pain never left. So you got records, like even back then, you got records where the pain seeped through. It just was me forcing the record, not forcing the recording, but forcing the record to see the light of day.
Right.
Like
up.
records like Feeling Like Mike.
That was 12, 13
Like
years ago.
like Vent. That's what I'm saying. I pushed the button on these records. You know, once the internet went up, you put that shit out there, it don't come back unless you did it. And instead, the Cassie sex tape. He the only nigga on the planet that was able to erase something from the entire internet. But other than that, once it hit the internet, ain't no coming back from it. So that's, you know, once I learned that them records that I just named, you only heard them because I pushed the button on them. And that's because I believe more in myself, which I don't, you know, I don't resent no nigga for that. I don't fuck with them because that's a whole nother thing. Right. But I don't resent them for not believing in me. I'm the one that's supposed to believe in me. So in that fashion, I just said, fuck it, man. You know, the reason people, like, even now, Jalen is turning 15. And people tell me how much they love Letter to My Son. So when I hear that tells me my real life is worth paying attention to. Yeah. Cause I got no gimmicks. The only gimmick I have is that I can rap. I can make my real life rhyme. So I said, fuck it. That's, you know, that's where I'm going. You know, if this shit mean a 60-year-old man can walk up to me and tell me he relate, and a 7-year-old tell me they like the beat on or whatever the fuck, then all right, I'm doing something right. But the only way I could do that was to say, I'm the one in charge of this. Right. And like I said a second ago, tape might come out, tape might not come out. I got a distribution deal. In this deal, it doesn't say I have to turn in certain projects. Yeah. You just say a project.
So you're not signed to no label or nothing?
I'm my label. Yeah. All this shit's on me. Mm-hmm. So if a June tape come out, that's great. Yeah. If it don't and a July tape come out, that's great. If nothing comes out till fucking 2020, I did 17 tapes. So I think for like fan wise, I think I earned the space to relax. Right. If ever I felt the need.
Years. Motherfucker gotta, cause see, it's records that it's records on every mixtape that I didn't lash to.
It's about 200 something. And well, see, they're not mixtapes because you know in the essence of a mixtape, every record is somebody else's record.
Right.
And that's the real, but that's the real. That's the old school mixtape. Everybody now.
Once you sell it, it ain't a mixtape no more.
Right.
Okay.
Once you make $1 off of it, it ain't a mixtape no more.
Okay.
So all these shits, none of these shits is free. It costs money to make them shits. Mm-hmm. We took time, effort. My engineer got to be the engineer. My producer got to produce. And I got to be the artist. All that shit take time, money, and effort. So I don't I'm going and say, you know, this is an album, this is a EP or whatever. I let the streaming platforms do that shit on their own. Okay. Spotify call an EP a single. Apple call it an EP. Yeah. I don't care. That shit don't mean shit to me. I get it out. You know, I understand how that can be important, but it's just not important to me.
Cause you'll drop like 8 songs on one motherfucker. Then
right.
You drop
and you
10
know,
songs on one
and
motherfucker.
If you miss the tape,
drop 5 songs on one.
Listen, if you miss it, it's so much shit out right now. It's impossible to keep up with everything anyway. I ain't in this for shock value. So I ain't put this tape out because this is the perfect time to put a tape out. I don't give a fuck who dropped today. I don't give a fuck if they dropped yesterday. Drake can drop the same. I don't give 2 fucks. You might not hear my shit for 2 months. I do not care. But when you do hear it and something grabs you, I achieved my goal. That was the whole point. It don't matter if it happened later. What's that song? A Chris Brown song? Under the Influence. Nigga shot the video for the song 3 years later.
Come on now. The
you can't tell me what I can do.
Straight up.
I got nothing against that. That's my assurance. That reconfirms it to me. Ain't no rules in this shit.
Hot after that shit got hot an album later. So this song off this album, he dropped an album before he dropped his latest shit. Right. Got hot. So now he back jamming this motherfucker, bro. That shit was hard.
Listen, if you sitting here right now when you sell different color t-shirts, you sold the red shirt and it wasn't really pumping, and then you sold the white shirt was hidden, and then right before you was for to make a blue shirt, that red shirt started pumping. You gonna say, no, that's in the past. We moving on. Hell no. You gonna
keep on selling.
What, the red shirt selling? Hey, send me 100 more red shirts. Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. I took all of the outside, the overthinking. I took that out of it. I just do what I feel like doing. So, you know, like I said, if you missed the tape, that's fine. I'm not writing down. You ain't on my hit list because you missed the tape. But, you know, if you miss the tape and you catch it a year later, a month later, a week later. And none of that shit matters as long as the music gets to you when it gets to you. And I'm a firm believer that you don't pick the music you love, it picks you. You're not riding around saying, man, I want to hear some new shit from somebody I ain't never fucking heard of and fall in love with their songs. That ain't how it happens. You moving around, doing whatever you're doing, and you hear it. However you heard it, you could have heard it because you scrolled past it. You could have heard it because you was playing something else. And you know how the streaming services do your shit. After you heard what you intended to hear, you hear something else they picked for you. It don't matter how it got to you. Whenever it got to you, it picked you. Before you know it, even if you heard it one time, you're like, damn, man, what was this song? You might not have heard it for weeks or months or whatever. And you heard it again. Oh, shit, that's the song. I fuck with this. Now you trying to, what's that shit? Shazam.
Yeah.
Man, my Shazam shit, I ain't never seen these kind of numbers before. I never pay attention to this kind of shit. I paid attention to that because that tell me if a person Shazam my song, that means you never heard of me. You wanted to know what the fuck is this I'm hearing.
Yeah,
Right. So when I sing that, so again, I'm doing something right. So, you know, all the shit I'm doing wrong, it don't much matter because what I'm doing right is, you know, outweighs it.
I got 2 more questions, man.
Oh, indeed.
Man, what is your favorite? What's the your current favorite song that you done recorded?
Damn.
It could be old or it could be new. I'm gonna tell you, my favorite was Bang when I was young. Bang was my shit, cause I thought, nigga, I'm seeing nigga, that video by itself, so many guns. When I was a young nigga, I'm like, nigga, I'm hyped,
man.
Nigga.
There was so many felons in that video. But that's if you go back, for people that's watching it, you never even seen it. If you go back to that video, see, I come from what my boy said, the hood. I come from not the internet hood. I come from from the real environment. So if you watch that video, you can't identify a single face. Even though you can identify mine, you still can't really identify. You know, if we was in court and there's the benefit of the doubt, there's a benefit of the doubt. That could be me. It could just be a light-skinned nigga with a mask on. It's really tough to tell.
Right.
But you don't see anybody's face in that video, and you don't see a single person. That's the only only video I got with real guns and that's actually in it. The lawyer video got a bunch of prop guns. But either way, it's the only video I got with real guns, and not a single one gets touched by a person in that video. Right.
And
not one time.
But
you know that was the art to it, because you know I wasn't trying to. The point of the video wasn't to intimidate in any shape, form, or fashion. Just like, you know, this is the environment. You know, this is where I come from. And sometimes, you know, people will hear certain records and they think I'm a backpack rapper or some shit. Yeah. And then, you know, that's when you get weird comments and shit. People get it.
But you can tell by the lyrics. You can tell.
But see, everybody ain't listening to them
songs. Punchlines, them shit you been saying lately, man, that shit been having me like, I'm talking about, I would literally like say, you know what I'm saying? So I might be working, I'm delivering shit. And while I'm packing shit, nigga, I might hear something and say, what the fuck? Like the other night, I'm bumping the latest joint. Man, that motherfucker said, I've been selling pounds way before they call them hashtags. And I said, cause what the fuck is a hashtag? The pound sign. Boy, I'm talking about, nigga, I'm in that bitch wig, and I said, this nigga is hard, but you know what I'm saying? Bro, straight up, like you've been like, I don't know what's been going on with your punch, like your shit. Can we please get some of this creative energy for Step Brothers for Life? Jesus Christ, I need.
Listen, Step Brothers for Life is all right, everything you've ever seen that's got a part 2 or 3 and 4 and 5. The further they go, the more watered down. I haven't seen The Last Bad Boy, so that ain't part of what I'm saying. But every time, you know, I'm hoping so.
It's hard.
From the numbers, they doing great numbers. I seen like a list. It was like, you know, every time you put out another one, they do better than the one before.
I ain't like 3.
So that's great.
4 hard.
But that's what I'm saying. So we wanted to keep our integrity. We don't want to go in and say, oh, well, they want a 4, let's go and do a 4. Because they ain't how neither of the other 3 were done. You know, we did it on our own time. We did it, like, you know, artists say they had to take time in between their albums so they can experience life. Because, you know, for people that put their life in the music, I don't much work in that fashion. But that's how it had to happen for me and him. It's got to be not like we know we setting up time right now to start on it, but we got no deadline on it. Like we ain't we ain't trying to rush it. We ain't trying to pre or we ain't trying to. I don't know how I would say it. None of this shit is arranged, right?
Forcing
we ain't in
shit.
there. We ain't saying, hey, we're gonna do this kind of song or that kind of song or
By
use
this
this
date.
person or whatever. Nothing. We got no kind of. We never had those kind of guidelines or outlines. And since we never used the outline and it's been this successful, that's why. It's because it came, it was organic.
We link, we do
Right.
music.
So we're in the same space, and I probably seen Star about 30 fucking times in like the last 2 months, and we ain't recorded a single record. But that's because our shit ain't based off. It came from that,
Right.
but at some point, like Star, you mentioned the pictures from the wedding. Star was one of my what the fuck you call it? Groomsmen, right?
Yeah.
Star was one of my groom. Like this is really my family.
Right.
It ain't just cause of a record. It ain't we ain't around each other for the hype. Every time ain't no cameras involved. So when it comes to the music, that's it's a plus.
Right.
So what we do we did maybe 5 or 6 records we planned to put on Step Brothers for life, and then
And you put them on your shit.
they went on different tapes.
My favorite track, and nigga, this Lil Giants. That motherfucker there.
No, none of those.
That's my
Lil
shit.
Giants is a record that none of that come from what was recorded for Step Brothers 4.
Okay.
Everything you've heard since January 2023, not a single song is more than a week or 2 old from that month. So even with that, like I was putting out so many tapes that like I had to hit Star and like I called him like, I got a record I need you on for to send it to you now. And he knocked the record out, he sent it back. And he was like, man, it's like you called me 2 days later with another record.
Straight up.
I'm like, yeah, I'm working on another tape. So I had to consider that, he got a real life too, of course, because I'm in the zone I'm in. I'm not doing it to compete or
straight up.
to convince him to do the same thing. That if you ain't in the space for this, you can't do this.
Right. I didn't hear you on this song.
And at the same token, like even for Step Brothers 4, even though his daughter's 5 now, probably on the way to 6. So he been a father we'll give him 6 years. I've been a father for 15 years. So certain things like it take a while to be able to do both, or to learn how to wear both hats.
Right.
So even when you think I don't know if y'all got kids or not, but even when you think you got it figured out, you don't.
Just have the daughter.
Right. And then when they, you would assume once they, first you have the child, you think once the child start walking, you have it more figured out. Then they start walking and you don't got it figured out. Then they start going to school. You don't got it figured out. Then they start dating. I ain't all the way into that space yet, but it's going to happen. And when it happens,
my oldest son,
you ain't
15.
got it all figured out.
I gap just like y'all. It's like he been a father.
Fuck you, nigga. Nah, my son, he finna be 15.
15. I've been a daddy for 3. So it's like.
So you see what I mean?
Yeah.
But
I just started
though you both know what fatherhood feel like, you in different spaces with it. So it's certain shit he kind of got to figure it out or maneuver to make time to do. And that shit come easy to you. You've been doing it for however long you've been doing it. I got 8 kids, so a lot of the shit that's new to Star, I've been through it.
Right.
But that it worked the same way when it come to music. So now it ain't like, consider he live in Nashville, I live in Memphis. Even though it's just 3 hours away, it's 6 hours because you got to get there and you got to get back. 6 hours sound cool. You can sit right here and say, yeah, all right, well, we're going to get together Wednesday and do yada, yada, yada. And then, what's the day? Saturday. So Monday, your daughter come home with a fucking paper to say they got some kind of cheerleader practice Wednesday.
You gotta go to practice.
That's your life.
You gotta go to practice.
Now, the fact that we tied in, we locked in, he know he not gonna suffer no turmoil for that. When he hit me and say, hey,
understood.
Chris, even if
That's
he hit me
understood.
Wednesday and say, bro, I forgot, I gotta take my daughter to the so-and-so. It's all good. We work it out, we figure it out. But that's what I'm saying. That's why Step Brothers is necessary. Step Brothers is it's on our list of things to do. But real life takes precedence. So when we get to it, we're gonna get to it. But what I can guarantee is that when it happens, it's gonna be natural, it's gonna be organic. It ain't gonna be forced in no shape, form, or fashion. And for us, that's what means everything.
And I think that's why I appreciate y'all niggas so much, because Starlito is like he like my top 3. You know what I'm saying? Because like even like by the time he dropped what is it, the album with Daddy Issues on it.
Paternity leave.
Yeah. I was going through my first child, baby mama, you know what I'm saying? So while he rapping this shit, like I say, I anytime I'm down, that's who I go to.
Yeah.
I go to Starlito because I just relate to the nigga. But when I say y'all you just give us, like I say, genuine music. Y'all don't give us too tough music. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
crying in the car. And then even with you, like I say, bro, this man, when I say the vulnerability and the honesty when it comes to what you done dealt with as a child growing up, you and your brother, what y'all done went through, what you was thinking about at the moment, it's like, man, you don't know how many people going through the same thing or feel the same way about their parents. You know what I'm saying? So,
well, see, for you earlier, you asked me what changed, what I guess opened me up to be more vulnerable with certain things. The childhood shit, I never really spoke on the childhood shit because me and Piff went through it together, and I ain't feel like I had the right to tell your story for you. And so I did my best to stay away from certain things because I didn't know if he was ready to talk about. We can have the conversation. We might not be ready for the world to know certain things and people to walk up to you. And now they know things that deepest, darkest secrets kind of shit. And Piff passed, and it leaves it at a state where if I don't speak about it, it goes unsaid. And a lot of my music is that. It's the shit that, we all go through it. Just rap niggas don't have the courage to say that they going through some real shit. Like rap niggas won't tell you that they not filthy fucking rich. They won't tell you that they got a relationship. Rap niggas paint a picture like everything's great at all times, and it's not. And what happens?
That ain't life.
Right. So what happens when you listening to rappers who you only see colorful shit from? When shit start getting dull, you start tuning away. I don't want to hear it. This ain't you. In real life, it is them, but you don't recognize them. You never seen them.
Right.
Now when you see them, that ain't what grabbed you. That ain't what you like. Right. And, I ain't turn on fucking HBO to watch fucking Discovery Channel. I would have put it on Discovery Channel. But so when it comes to the music, I think that's the greatest attribute for me is that I say the shit that we all feeling. May not all be feeling at the same time, but nobody's at least no artist is is courageous enough to to say it
or articulate enough. That probably be a lot of people's problem. You know what I'm saying? Like ain't that many people can articulate themselves to put it in the words, in the music, in the form that you do, because it's like when you do it, it still gotta be this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
true that. It still gotta entertain.
Right, exactly. So if I'm not, you know what I'm saying, that's another reason why. Like for example, when you did Mama's Revenge, the way you was wording it, it's almost like you talk, it's like a conversation. You say you thought I was gonna help you, you know what I'm saying, when you drown in debt.
I remember all that shit,
you should learn how to swim. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm like, that nigga talking to somebody, you know what I'm saying? So everybody not articulate enough, but the way, like I say, if you just the way you've been doing this, man, like I say, been following you since, like you say, since you've been doing it in the vocal booth, making them videos. My boy Mike Neal, he was the first one on you. Like before you drop, he saw the video in the vocal booth when you dropped Letter to My Son. You know what I'm saying? Is that the first one? He the one that put me on. You know what I'm saying? And that's when it came out on video with CeeLo Green and shit like that. But the chorus, who was on the chorus originally? Was it you?
Chorus.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm like, I don't remember this chorus.
A lot of that was, like I said a second ago, once I was signed, put everything I thought I knew aside to learn. And no matter what I learned from the situation, some of the shit went horribly left. Some of it went right. Not many things went right, but you know, I ain't never been the kind of person to sit and complain about what didn't work. I'll say what did work. I took the money that my advance and bought a studio. So I never had to pay for the recording of the records. They had to pay me. I we let it to my son. We sat down and they were saying it can't go to radio because it don't have a hook. So we had to find a hook. All right, well, they did a whole lot of searching to find somebody to do the hook. And then Esther Dean came out of nowhere and she hit me on Twitter. She was like, I sent you a surprise. I'm like, oh, okay. I've never met her in person. But either way, she hit me. So right after she hit me, they hit me and they was like, we got the hook, check it out. I'm listening to it and Esther Dean hit it on the head. So I'm like, all right, let's do it. And they was like, we got to find somebody to sing it. So I'm like, all right, I'm with that. It got to be like, it got to be like a CeeLo. I named CeeLo specifically because CeeLo hook on the song with Ballin and G called Paid Dues.
Man, that was one of my favorite songs.
So I'm like, if it ain't that feel, then we can skip this whole tape. Yeah. What you say? All right, right. So they came back and they was like, they named a few people like Mary J. Blige. I was like, no, Mary J. Blige is a woman. I get it that Esther Dean's a woman and she wrote it, but it can't be. This can't come from a woman.
Right.
It misconstrues the message. Yeah. So you was taking shots all over the place, and they finally just came back and like one of them niggas knew Gip, and they worked it through Gip. They got CeeLo on them. Like, all right, that's cool. I'm with it. Yeah. We did the video, and then I just kept getting to run around. They was like, we got to, in the music industry, in order for your record to go on air to get airplay, it's called an ad date, where all of the stations add your song to put it in rotation. I never got an ad date. They kept giving me the runaround. I got out my deal in 2013, so for like 2 to 3 years, I didn't get an ad date. They kept saying we're going to get an ad date. And the reason why is that's a whole nother conversation. But basically I didn't get the ad date, and that was supposed to be the ingredient I needed for it to go on radio, right? And then Young M.A. dropped the song with no hook. And right after, she went first. Nope, Jay-Z and Trinidad shit, that is the hook. Jay-Z and Kanye did I think it was the oldest song. There's no hook. Right. So we sitting here and the rule is this until they change the rule. They changed the rule. While we sitting here, they changed the rule because what the radio gonna tell them, we ain't gonna play Jay-Z and Kanye. Right.
Because of who it was.
Right. Now we already spent $300,000, put a nigga on the hook for a song we didn't need a hook for. But they just changed the rule for me.
Damn,
they still got no ad date. And then I started hearing more records with no hooks. Bobby Shmurda popped up, no hook.
No hook.
Young M.A. popped up with no hook.
Kodak, no hook. That's crazy.
Now you don't need a hook. Right. But what I learned from that is, this system don't recognize a better way to do or another way to do things. They only operate on what they saw work already. So if you ain't got the means to convince them to move on it, then it ain't gonna happen. Right. And even though I was signed, I never had the perception that I was the biggest star in the world and people gonna do what I want them to do because they need me. I knew better. There was a million niggas signed. When I was signed, Kendrick Lamar wasn't popping yet, but he was signed to the same label. I overheard, conversations where they wanted to drop Kendrick Lamar. They didn't, of course, and his shit prevailed. Right. But that's what I'm saying. I sat in a space where, it could have went either way for me. Right. And for me, I ended up, I got dropped, but I thought, I requested to be dropped. I had to do it about 3 times in order for them to go ahead and let me go. But Cool and Dre did so much dirty business that it wasn't hard for me to get out of the contract. Right. It was more so like, Do I want to go to court with them?
Right.
Or
Just
say
let
we
me-
free and
just-
clear?
Yeah, just let me get on down.
Right. They let me out, and boy, I've made more money now than I ever seen signed to a record label.
Yeah.
And not to say I wouldn't ever sign a record deal, contract. Then I just saw fucking the chat GPT, GC, some shit.
Yeah.
And they was like, somebody used it to break down a recording contract. And I'm like, that's wild. But when I got signed, I had very little information in it that I didn't understand.
Right.
One thing my lawyer told me, and my lawyer, David Kenner. David Kenner's one of the greatest crooks. So, it is what it is. I knew everything I've learned in the streets, I learned from criminals. So, David Kenner's he's a fucking attorney. So, he know how to work it. So I'm sitting with him, and he was like, well, technically, he kind of let it slip. He was talking, and he was like, technically, you can send the contract back as many times as you see fit, because legally, you got to be able to understand it.
Right.
The reason people, you can sign and not have a lawyer, and then you up shit's creek. But that's because you didn't know that you could tell them to make that contract where you can understand it.
Right, English, nigga.
But if you had ever said that, then they legally have to meet your requirements.
Right,
But since you
understand it,
never said that, all you read was the first paragraph that told you how much money they was for to give you up front. You ain't read the rest of the 60 pages.
Right.
Then, they not obligated to make the contract where you can understand it. But when he told me that, I came back in like 2 weeks, and I just took a highlighter. Every word I didn't understand, every sentence I didn't understand. Sent it back. They sent it back. Well, no matter of fact, we sent it back. They didn't want to cooperate. But like I said, it's legally you have to.
Mm-hmm.
So either way, what I didn't know is I was making people disgruntled. Of course, again, like I said, hindsight, there's a lot of shit I learned from that went the right way. And well, not many things went the right way, but a lot of shit that went the wrong way, I learned from it.
Right.
And one of the things I started understanding was that this is a business. Like Scream might just see y'all two. They don't see all the other people that's involved and have to make it happen. So if you sat here and you never gave credit to the people that's doing their job, why the fuck would they want to do their job?
Right.
So I learned that. I'm sitting, I'm requesting all this shit. Then when we do finalize, I'm in the building meeting people, and they like, man, you was giving me a hard time with those contracts and yada yada yada. I'm like, oh, I didn't know you. I didn't know you
Right.
or know that you were the one that had to deal with it.
Right.
So a lot of the shit, like I said, a lot of shit that went wrong, I learned from it, and it helped steer my ship now. Because I if anything, I learned what not to do.
Yeah. Man, I can dig it, man. Well, man, I just want to say, bro, I appreciate you. We appreciate you, man. Man, just keep going. You know what I'm saying?
My shit ain't coming with no quit button.
No, for real, man. Like, we really need that. We like I say, we need that music. You know what I'm saying? Like my guy that did the shirt for you. Yeah. When I say the man stayed on the phone with me for hours, like, Nick, man, you gotta let me give him this, man. You gotta let me give him this.
I appreciate that.
Straight up, man. I'm gonna call you. You know what I'm saying? But we support you. We appreciate you, bro. Just keep on going.
Oh, indeed,
man. We got a saying, that we doing. You know what I'm saying? Before we cut out, I need you to take part in. You know what I'm saying? Hold up now.
As long as it ain't crazy.
No. So when we say what we say, I want you to say this.
You gotta say what you say first.
No, when you hear it, you gonna hear it.
No, I'm saying before I can agree.
No,
like we always say, it's always a treat.
Oh, okay, when players meet.
Come on, man.
I can fuck with that.
I don't do high fives. I flex to the right side and left your eyes wide. Tied in with the mob, got plugged in. Call me a wise guy. Blood in with the mob. Bloody young niggas at Lord. Why not see my young no more?